Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the AccessToTrader.com weekend update show. Hope everybody is doing well. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. If you are in the crosshairs of probably the coldest weather I can remember in a very, very long time, woke up this morning, it was like 4 degrees. I'm in New Jersey, but again, this is not regulated, just the Northeast, just like everybody's getting hit. I think Myrtle Beach, South Carolina had massive snow. So with Mother Nature definitely is having its way with us, which is kind of the theme, right? Kind of the theme of what we've seen in the first part of 2026 for many, many names. And guys, before we go on, guys, do me a solid, take a moment out, support the channel, click that like button. Again, I will hopefully continue to do my best to point you in the right direction. So, first month in the books. If you've been kind of following along over the last month or so, you kind of know one thing. The scoreboard is not indicative of what is going on. NASDAQ, QQQ, up 1% for the month. Sounds right? Sounds good. If you're an investor of the Qs, well, you're not really an exposed to what is happening, but we kind of know what's happening. If you've been following along for the first month of the year, you kind of know that I think 90% of all my pivots this month have been to the downside. There's been an absolute aggressive unwind on a lot of names. You have a lot of earnings that seem to be good, and then they start getting sold off as well. You have Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin currently trading, as I'm recording this video right now, at around, what time is it right now? Around 11:45. It's hovering around 77,000. It's kind of been sitting on that level of support for a multi-month area. Again, that's not a good thing. You got Ethereum getting absolutely smoked. You have the gold and silver trade, right? Silver gold went beyond the word parabolic, right? You can't find a hyperbole to describe what's going on here, but if you've been seeing what's going on in gold, right, it's had an historical run, absolute historical run. Matter of fact, if you go to any jewelry store, or you have gold, or gold bars, you kind of know, at one point, what was gold? 53, 5,400. It was going absolutely out of its mind. You had silver on an unprecedented run. And then, just like everything else throughout history, when you go through parabolic, whether it's the tulip revolution, as was explained in the movie Wall Street Part 2, or anything else, right? The instant internet craze, hell, even GameStop, right? Eventually, the momentum eventually dies out. Okay, the gravity trade kicks in, and anybody who's been buying, on the way up with absolutely no fear, is getting absolutely, well, hammered in the last, pretty much 24 hours or so. Silver was down 28%. SLV was down 28%. GLD was down a little bit less than 1%. So you have all these asset classes getting absolutely just hammered, absolutely hammered. Bitcoin, speculation money. Gold and silver, beyond speculation money, right? You have stocks, for example, like the software names. Who the hell, again, software names getting this hit, man? You got letter U getting absolutely destroyed. You got TTWO, right, getting absolutely destroyed. Again, I'm just highlighting certain groups, and then you have stocks that just cannot rally, right? We've been talking about NVIDIA getting out of this 3-week channel for many, many weeks now. Incredible amount of weeks. I actually traded NVIDIA on Friday. I know a lot of you guys did as well. Finally got back above the 93, 93.30s. It ran up like 70, 80 cents. Then the market started puking. I took some off. The rest I used break even to stop. But the point is, the fact that it failed, the fact that it came back into the range, it's not exactly what you want to see. If you've been watching, I think the last video I did was Wednesday, right? Wednesday, I talked about, names that fell below the 200-day moving average. And this is not anymore an isolated thing to the 50-day moving average, right? Last thing I told you guys, it started to swing on UPST, right? First close below the 50-day moving average. This thing is down 11% in 3 days. I still got a nice little runner in this thing, just a beautiful move. But again, it's just not the 50-day moving average that's being compromised. It's names we talked about in the Wednesday video, the 200-day moving average. RGTI got absolutely smoked. Once it lost the November lows, we've been talking about RGTI on and off for about a week or so. It's gotten absolutely shot. I mean, a $3 move on a $21 stock is a pretty good move. Robinhood, I forgot if I traded on Thursday or was it Friday? I think it was Thursday, right? Same thing. Lost the 200-day moving average, right? The stock got hosed as well. RGTI got massacred, right? We've been talking about the loss of RGTI off the 200-day moving average for a while now, man. Look at this move here. Excuse me, not RGTI, PLTR, right? PLTR, right? PLTR lost its 50-day moving average. If you look at 50, lost the 200-day moving average, lost the 150-day moving average. And if you look at the weekly, right? If you look at the weekly, it's closing right on weekly support. The only thing that might save it, or maybe not, is they report, I think it's on Monday. I think they report tomorrow. So that's obviously going to be a very, very important report, because if this thing starts losing its weekly support, this thing can go all the way down to 134. So again, it's going to be very, very tough for me to convince myself that I want to be long, right? I mean, listen, is there individual stocks that still look fine? Sure, of course, you'll always find something. Apple had a decent quarter, started out red, right? Started out red, and towards the end of the day started rallying, got rejected above the January highs. Obviously, you can clearly see how basic this setup is. This thing gets back above the January highs. Apple could actually have a run back to the 50-day moving average. But outside of Apple, what do you want to be long? Right? Like especially in the tech space, what do you want to be long? Okay, let's go through them, right? You got Tesla. Tesla actually came out with pretty decent numbers on Wednesday, and it got sold. Then the news came out right after the close that SpaceX is merging potential XAI, and then they spiked up the stock, and then it got rejected below the previous day's highs, setting up an inside day. So, okay, what do you want to be long, right? You have, for example, the gold and silver names. After this big run up there, do you feel really, really comfortable being long over the weekend, being long into next week? Again, we have a potential government shutdown that's going to add, more fuel to the fire. Okay, so there's a lot of negative things on our plate. Well, not our plate, but the general market participants' plate. Again, I trade both sides of the market, and like I talked about before, I think literally about 90% of all my pivots for the month of January have been to the downside, and I don't see that changing going into Monday. Yeah, I mean, listen, is Apple a potential long over the January high? Sure, okay, right. I'm always prepared on both sides, but look at these setups, guys. Look at these setups going into Monday session. This is kind of what I'm watching for Monday. Let me give you guys some ideas. Look at Shopify, right? Look at Shopify. I know they report soon to check their earnings, but first close below the 200-day moving average. It's not a good thing. OKLO, right? First close actually closed right on the 200-day, right? This thing loses the 200-day moving average. It's going to get smoked. Look at Marvel, right? Look at Marvel. Marvel loses this range. It will test the 200-day moving average. Look at MP, right? Look at MP. MP closed below the 50 and stopped right on the 150-day moving average. This thing loses the 150-day. It's going to go all the way down to this 52 area. There's a lot of names that look horrible. SoFi, again, not a great, I think they reported earnings stop at the 200-day moving average. This thing loses the 200-day. You see what I mean? You get the picture. So that's kind of what you face with. Again, if you are a long bias trader, again, like I've always been saying, history will prove you right. Eventually, your position will be okay, assuming what you are invested in. But it doesn't mean it's going to happen on Monday. It doesn't mean it's going to happen Tuesday. So going over the weekend, I got a lot of names I'm watching to the downside. Look at Las Vegas Sands, right? Here's another perfect example of a stock potentially could lose the 200-day moving average. I believe they had earnings. That was the gap down inside day on Friday. Now look at this thing. This thing loses the earnings lows. This thing's going to get hit. I mean, look at Netflix. Again, Netflix is not exactly the same trader as it was, 5, 7 years ago. But look at Netflix. Netflix is flagging here. This thing starts losing the earnings lows. This thing's going to go lower. So a lot of names look like absolute trash, right? Absolute trash. You're going to have to go through a fine-tooth comb to see where you want value to the upside. Again, Apple. Okay, I like Apple. Okay, again, assuming it reclaims back the January highs, but that's literally the only thing that I'm seeing as far as the mega cap technology names that I'm at least halfway interested. Can you turn around and go, well, Meta after its run kind of will wake up again on Monday or Tuesday? Sure, why not, right? Meta had a good quarter, gapped up massively, had an inside day. At some point, will it give another move this week? Sure, why not? You have Microsoft. Had a horrible reaction to earnings inside day. Is this going to eventually start moving back lower? Sure. So you're definitely set up on both sides. Again, you're not trying to anticipate what's going on. You're not trying to guess. You're waiting for everything to confirm organically, and you are watching the options market give us a clue. The more repeat option out of the money short-term contracts that are traded, the higher probability the stock will move in that direction. And speaking of which, if you haven't done so already, we dropped a free, completely free. So it's not going to cost you a single cent. All you got to do is click the link below. It's the latest version that we recorded a year ago of the PS60 theory, which coincidentally breaks down the whole using options with the whole reload buyer, reload seller, repeat option flow, and the pivots, how we correlate them together. And it's been a really amazing combination for the last 3 years. So if you are interested, all you got to do is click the link below and enjoy. Other than that, everybody, God bless. Stay warm. We have a busy week. We have a potential government shutdown. We have potential more potential Bitcoin, ETH, gold, silver unwinding, speculation money leaving the building. Not the greatest thing in the world if you are a long-term investor or short-term long bias trader. But again, this is something you signed up for subconsciously the first time you opened up a brokerage account. Both sides of the market, baby. Both sides of the market. God gave you 2 hands, 2 eyes, 2 ears. You got to trade both sides of the market. Have a great day, everybody. God bless, and hopefully I'll see everybody on the field on Monday. Take care.